I'm making this quick video here just because I've heard a bit of a narrative being spun. Who is Anthony Casey and who's the new kid on the block, and how did he just appear out of nowhere? So I suppose I'm going to have to address this. Who I am, first of all, was I went to secondary school in Castledermot, South Kildare. I worked for 4 years as an apprentice lift engineer. I was 10 years in transport industry between Naas and Dublin as a transport manager, and I joined the civil service where I was placed in the courts for 2 years. I think my full service was 2.5 years, although I was on leave for the last 6 months. How I began in this movement was in 2021 when COVID rolled out. I wasn't complicit, I saw through it, so did a lot of my friends, thankfully. I started sharing Dr. Anne McCluskey's posts. If you went onto Instagram or even maybe X to a lesser extent, you'll see a lot of the A. Casey podcast, that page there, sharing all this stuff from 2021. I was hard against the vaccine, lost a lot of friends, tied in with a few doctors. Dr. Vincent Carroll, obviously, I did the podcast with while I was in the courts. Dr. Billy Ralph, I spoke to a few occasions. Doing that podcast with Dr. Vincent Carroll was in 2022. So we spoke out against the vaccine rollout and about mass immigration in Ireland. So that's 2025 now. In 2022, 2023, I was in Dublin Street a few times when people got together against Joseph Germain and what he was doing, one of the profiteers in Carlow. So I was on the ground as well. I wasn't grabbing microphones or anything like that, but I was there, and I was a member of Hold the Line in Carlow and Kildare. That was 2023. 2024 then I decided to, well, the courts were in a battle with me over my podcast and about being anti-government narrative, about having the Celtic cross on my podcast symbol, about speaking out against the government's stance basically on these issues. So we got into a 3-month back and forth. I got a union guy involved and we bet it because they wanted to get rid of me, but I decided to leave and go on career break anyway while I looked for something else. A family member was sick, I became their carer, and then I decided to run. I tied in with Paul Fitzsimons and the Irish Column. I was on board there early 2024, decided to run for the Irish Freedom Party in May 2024, the last week possible to run for the local elections. Then I was quickly added onto the AC of the Irish Freedom Party and announced for the general election, then nominated by my peers inside the Irish Freedom Party to go as leader for the Irish Freedom Party, and then eventually split out of there and went to Ireland First, where Derek Bly nominated me in front of his members on a Zoom to become the president of Ireland First. So I have my timelines there for the last 3 years of what I've been doing. So I certainly didn't just emerge out of nowhere. Vigilantism is a term the state are using to try and stop people coming together, good people coming together. But it's imperative that the reason why there's a multi-pronged approach, this is why I'm taking 2 approaches, okay? You can do a 1,000,000-man march on the Dáil and say, okay guys, you're out of here, you're not representing the people, we demand you to leave. But who sits in them seats then? Maybe that's why we're doing the committees. In Ireland First we have the Health Committee, and it has Dr. Vincent Carroll in it. It has a couple of nurses who are wide awake to everything going on. The Education Committee that has a few teachers who are years in the game who are sick and tired of the indoctrination going on. There is an Energy Committee that has a couple of engineers who are sick of the climate scam. This is how you build it. You put the networks there. These are the people who build our policies as a movement. The experts, not me. They'll school the candidates when the time comes. And then we have our guys that we need. You know, we have our power bases, our knowledge bases there to sit in these seats of Minister of Education, Minister of Defence, Minister of Health. They actually have the credentials, because a lot of these people in the Dáil do not have the credentials. So that's why it has to be a multi-pronged approach. The Irish government are no longer looking after the people. We can see the attempted abductions and kidnappings and assaults and people following them, indecent exposure. We're seeing all this happen. How better to combat that with people power? People coming together in their communities, showing a visible presence, a group that you could say, this is happening to me, I'm being harassed by whoever, and that they'll call by your house a couple times a week, or they'll patrol by your gateway every Tuesday and Thursday. This is what it's about, looking after your own. We had an incident there where, or a situation here where one of our true elderly patriots was worried about going to the Cork March because of her legs, wouldn't be able for it. And we put it out to Shinadina, could anyone help? And someone donated a wheelchair for her to keep. That's people power, it's people looking after each other. And I think it's powerful. So we need to stop pointing the finger and where were you and who are you and you're this, that and the other. Let's just get it together, lads. Multi-pronged approach. Let's go.